Would you look at that? We're back like we never left. Rams post game, albeit it is the preseason. That was a fun one. Probably one of the more fun preseason games, one of the more enjoyable preseason games that I've watched. And of course, if you didn't know, it's the most in the Sean McVay era. So, hey, as far as points scored, 31-21, the Rams wrap up their first preseason game with a win. They looked dominant in all fronts. I mean, all over the place. I thought Stetson Bennett had total command of the offense. I thought the run game was really good, no matter who was back there, whether it was Corum, whether it was Hunter, whether it was Schrader, whether it was Waters at the very end. I thought just everybody had their way. The offensive line was getting plenty of push up front. It was just really good to see this. And then the defense just being violent, setting the tone. I thought Greg Williams called a great game. I thought, of course, Mike LaFleur called a really good game on the offensive side, because you have to be creative and give your guys an opportunity while also being cognizant of the fact that you can't give away any trade secrets. So you have to be somewhat vanilla. And I thought they did a nice job of balancing that out. I think when you look at Stetson Bennett, the play calling, it was comfortable for him. A lot of those bootlegs, but also he did some things on his own. I really liked the way Stetson Bennett looked. And the biggest thing is, show me, don't tell me, right? And we kept hearing how Stetson Bennett has just taken the next step and he's going to be a lot better moving forward, and he's having a really good camp and he's getting, reps with the twos. And we finally saw it. And yeah, everything as advertised. I don't give a hell about his interception at all. Honestly, felt like PI could have been called there when he was trying to fit it to Mumfield. Thought he made some really good decisions today. I was really impressed with his overall body of work, his mobility, and there was a really nice point made by Maurice Jones-Drew on the broadcast saying, look, last year Stetson Bennett doesn't, tuck it and run. He's going to try and fit that into a window, and maybe he throws an interception. And today he was not afraid to just tuck it and run, get the first down. You already have the first down. Don't try and stretch it. That was a big thing. Bennett always showed you capabilities. You saw in the first preseason, you saw in the second, but I thought the first preseason, he looked really good. And then he had, I don't know if he got his shoulder banged up or whatever, but I remember him not being 100% healthy and then making bad decisions, and the turnovers were the problem. The second one, in my opinion, was terrible. I didn't really like Stetson Bennett at all last year. And I thought this preseason, I understand it's one game, this was leaps and bounds from what we've seen from Stetson Bennett. So shout out to him. I thought he looked very good. I think he has a future in this league as a journeyman, backup quarterback. I think he can be a spot starter, potentially like a Case Keenum. And I think he's probably going to be the backup of the Rams' future. This is somebody that they're probably going to want to keep around for a while. Probably, looking like, you go back and you look at Chase Daniel with the Bears. I think he'll be a lot like that. And that's not bad. That's having a role in the NFL. So looked like a promising player today. The mobility was on full display. But the biggest thing for me with Stetson Bennett was this. Yeah, he looked comfortable, calm, cool, collected, improved, smart. Ball placement was there. He was absolutely fearless on that 4th down and 6 bomb. Okay. He throws that ball. That's a tight window throw. The placement has to be on point, and he delivers an absolute strike to Xavier Smith. We love to see that. Shout out to him. Shout out to Xavier Smith for coming down with it. It's not an easy catch, but he put it exactly where it needed to be. Man, I am so excited to have watched that today. I thought there were some really fun plays, because keep in mind, at the end of the day, I know it's preseason, it's still entertainment. They sell tickets for this stuff. You watch it on TV, they sell, streaming, things for it. So this is entertainment at the end of the day, and I felt entertained. I mean, as much as you could be entertained by a preseason game, I thought the Rams did a really nice job of entertaining you. So shout out to Stetson Bennett. Obviously, shout out to Xavier Smith. We'll get to him a little bit later, but the running back room, okay, looks really good. Blake Corum looks like an absolute slasher, way more confidence. I understand it's not against, the starters, but you saw, more confidence with him. You saw a nose for the end zone going back to his Michigan days. That's what he looked like. But, last year we didn't really see that. Most notably the Packers game where he came up short. They had to bring in Kyron Williams. They punch it in. I thought Corum was just more there was more suddenness, but there was also just, I'm going to hit the hole. I see it. I'm not going to dance around the backfield. So I like what I saw from Blake Corum as a pure runner. In pass pro, he's got work to do. Okay. He was not great today in pass protection. And that's just the way it is. Obviously I'll watch the tape and, this is just based on the first watch, but I liked what I saw from Corum aside from the pass pro. Then you look at Hunter. Okay. And we already know what Jarquez Hunter is. He's a thumper. He's a guy that has explosion, just bounces off dudes. He looked exactly like we were expecting at Auburn. He had the thump. He had the explosive ability, full display. He is fun to watch. He is I forget what he was called by Quentin Lake on the broadcast. I think they called him Ironhead. Yeah, he is hard to bring down. He's a fun dude to watch. He's hard to bring down. He is going to be an absolute battering ram, in the open field. And the explosive ability is going to only add more to him. He's a home run hitter, and you definitely saw some moments today where it was on full display. Ronnie Rivers, unfortunately, left this game with a rib injury. Not looking good for him to make the roster currently because Cody Schrader showed out. And I don't even know if they're going to keep 4 running backs or 5 running backs. Definitely not 5. They might keep 4. I had them keeping 3 before this game. But you forget, Cody Schrader was on that 53, in my opinion. Okay? He was on the 53 that whole season because they claimed him off of waivers from the 49ers. Schrader was on the team the whole year. So there was a reason for that. He showed out today. Touchdown reception, looked really good in the run game. Really fun to watch. The suddenness was there. The quick twitch ability. But also he ran with some power, right? So downhill runner. Schrader looked good. I'm excited to see what he can do moving forward. But yeah, it's going to be interesting with that running back room. And then last but not least, Jordan Waters barely gets the opportunities, but at the end, he looked good in all of them. So I'm excited to see more of Jordan Waters moving forward. But yeah, Ronnie Rivers is definitely on the hot seat for sure. It's going to be tough for him to make this team. He could, be snuck onto the practice squad, but he has been in the league for a minute. He has been on the Rams 53. He got, carries in the playoffs before. This is somebody I think a team will pick up. Looking at the wide receiver room, Konate Mumfield, a bit disappointing, only because the hype was so high. I thought you still saw really good things. The drop pass, of course, he wants that back. He left the game with an ankle injury. Hopefully he's okay. But he showed the ability to separate, okay? He showed the ability to block. So, and of course, Bennett did miss him deep down the field on a touchdown, which, man, I didn't think Bennett would overthrow guys. You see the arm, it looks more live than it has been, which is a good sign for him. Mumfield looks good in that sense. Can, break away, can, create separation. That drop, I don't think is who he is, but he also had a really nice play where, the ball is batted in the air. It was a really, really nice bat. I forget who it was by the Cowboys, but it's batted and he sticks with it and makes the play. And then right after that, he goes out of the game with an ankle. I think the ankle was bothering him. I think he tried to get through the game. He just couldn't. And good for him. I'm glad he got off the field. It seemed like he was okay. And that's probably a precaution, especially a guy that was getting first team reps in the camp. But I thought Mumfield showed you his ability to separate and his ability to block in a game scenario in the NFL. We'll take that. The drop pass was bummer, but then he comes back and, he catches a misdirection. I just think it was a little disappointing because I guess maybe I expected him to have like a Lance McCutcheon type of preseason game. And I just don't feel like he had that. Xavier Smith, on the other hand, really showed out today. He looked like the best wide receiver on the field. He caught everything. The 4th down catch was huge. I had him on the 53-man roster in my projection over Covey. It just feels like I was only hearing about him and not hearing about Covey in camp, and I'm not changing it. I think I'm just going to keep Xavier Smith as the 6th receiver. That's going to be likely a guy that they're going to keep. I thought Xavier Smith looked really good, and of course he has that return ability he can add. So you see, obviously the gadget ability, but he's a legit receiver, can create separation, has good body control, and he's tough. He's a small in stature guy, but you see him, he comes away with that catch, survives the ground. That was a big catch. And 39-yard bomb on a 4th and 6, ballsy as hell from Stetson Bennett. And then he lays out and makes the play, gets both feet in bounds. You love to see it. So I think Xavier Smith is definitely a player to look out for. I think he will make the 53. Brennan Presley's another one that really shined today. The return ability was on full display. The jet sweep ability was on full display. His receiving ability was on full display. He caught a touchdown. Brennan Presley's an interesting one. Probably somebody that they can keep on the practice squad, but he definitely made me look once or twice over his way. I liked what I saw, and I was expecting out of all the UDFAs, I thought we'd see more out of Mario Williams, but it ended up being the Brennan Presley show. One thing I wanted to add: they're interviewing Quentin Lake, and Quentin Lake literally immediately looks over and he's like, "Oh, good for Brennan." I thought that was cool. It was an acknowledgement. So yeah, I really liked what I saw out of Brennan Presley. I liked what I saw out of Davis Allen. He looked improved as a blocker. He made a really nice play after the catch. You know how I am on this show, and I've always been this way when it comes to tight ends. I'm not just throwing at you for novelty reasons, okay? I'm throwing at you because you're an offensive lineman, wide receiver mixed. So I need to reap the rewards, or I'm just going to throw to my running back or wide receiver. The point of throwing to a tight end is they're big enough to break tackles and make plays after the catch. It creates optimal results normally when you throw to a big body, right? Well, Davis Allen was doing that. I think he broke 2 tackles on that one play. Really liked what I saw there. So that's something. The offensive line was really dominant. And I'll say this, we're going to have to go back and watch the tape. Okay. I need to know who was dominant, but based on my initial thoughts, I thought you saw some really good things out of McClendon. I thought Leviston looked good. I thought Bo Limmer absolutely was just kicking guys right out of the club like he was a bouncer. Willie, Lampkin looked really good. The offensive line kicked ass. I mean, I think really the only point where I was like, was AJ Arcuri was kind of getting blown up at right tackle. He had a couple wins, but the most notable blowups were at right tackle when AJ Arcuri was in there. So, I really liked what I saw from the offensive line. We'll see what ends up happening there. I think Willie Lampkin can play guard or center in this league. He doesn't get moved around. He's really good at using his leverage. I thought you saw some really good things out of Willie Lampkin, number 62. KT Leviston, are they going to keep them both? I mean, it's going to be a tough one. It's not going to be an easy roster to make, guys. I'm telling you this right now before I get to the defense. This team is stacked. They're loaded, okay? And the prompt for this show, the title was, what does the Rams preseason dominance mean for the regular season? And I understand people are going to say, it's just preseason. Miss me with that. I don't care that it's just preseason. This stuff matters. How you carry yourself in a work environment matters. They're working, okay? They went out there and worked. Did you see anybody that wasn't playing 110%? That's the thing. See, I can't say that the guys on the field in preseason are going to be on the field in the regular season. I can't say that this win will go in the win column during the regular season. I can't say that. What I can say is that this energy is going to carry over. This is culture, okay? This screams to me that they have a winning culture. There's a formula here. They know what they're doing. So I'll push back on anybody that says, preseason doesn't matter. This game doesn't matter. I would just say bullshit. It absolutely does matter. Okay. It matters how you prepare. You can't tell me, joint practice and training camp matters, but preseason doesn't matter. It absolutely matters. These guys are wearing their jerseys. These guys are wearing the uniform. These guys are wearing the horns. If they go out there and they don't show the effort, well, that's not a good reflection. And I've seen that in the past. And I just thought that the emphasis today, I thought there was a serious emphasis on just getting after it. The defense was violent. The offense was methodical. Really liked what I saw from top to bottom. Okay. And you see Sean McVay smiling like it's a regular season game. There you go. Okay. Really what we learned today is this. The Rams are one of the Super Bowl contenders in this league. That was already established before. But I tweeted out and got some blowback because, everybody freaks out when you give any sort of stock. You put any stock into preseason, everybody flips a lid. But my point is, and I tweeted this out, the Super Bowl energy is palpable. That whole organization feels different. Defense is violent. Offense is calculated. Just preseason, but that's a culture that is clearly working. Because it is. It is. See, the culture's everything. The way these guys, the starters who not playing, the way they're rooting for guys that probably will not make the 53 tells you all you need to know. This is a really tight-knit culture, and obviously the Rams have always had that. But we just kept hearing. People kept saying, whether it was on Between the Horns or it was on NFL Network or whatever. I know, Andrew Whitworth has said this before, on the Rich Eisen show. This team feels hungry. Like they know, we're there. We are right there. And that's the thing. They are right there. And what we saw today, the reality is they have an absolute, a monster load of depth. Monster load. They have so much depth. It's crazy. They have so much depth, guys. Really. They're a deep roster when they're able to sit guys like Tyler Davis and Jordan Whittington in preseason. I was really impressed with what I saw today. Really impressed. I understand the Cowboys are not good, but at some point or another, you got to give credit where credit's due. The Rams have been dominant at every turn. Normally, you don't see this talent disparity in preseason and joint practice like this. They are absolutely, they just dominated the Cowboys. Dominated. I think the depth of the Rams is, and I've said this, but I'll say it again so people can understand what I'm saying. This is the best, as far as roster construction, this is the best roster construction in the Sean McVay era. This is a masterclass. I hope you guys are aware of this. An absolute masterclass. I don't have a damn problem with anybody on this roster. It's all about health. And it's not that they have a bunch of guys that are injury prone. It's always about health. It's like that for anybody. But when you look at the way that they built this roster, the roster construction's insane. Their fifth receivers, Kanate Mumfield. Their sixth receiver is Xavier Smith. Xavier Smith is jumping all over the gym. He's making plays out of the, it's just crazy. Mumfield's getting first team reps. He's turning heads in camp. This is probably one of the best running back rooms that's been, around in Sean McVay's career. This is definitely the best quarterback room. This iteration of Stetson Bennett with Jimmy Garoppolo and Matthew Stafford, come on. Tight end room, best we've seen, I would say, since Gerald Everett and I would say Gerald Everett and Tyler Higbee, but it's probably the best. The offensive line looks really good. I like the depth. The defensive line looks nasty. The edge. So let's move on to the defense. Right? Let's move on to the defense. So we got, this is a really violent defense. They're fun to watch, man. They are. They fly to the ball. And I'm not saying that, I understand this is a preseason game. I get it. But my thing here is that this is going to translate during the regular season. This is who they are. Like Nate Valcarcel had 10 tackles today. Okay. He had a pass breakup. You had Tony Fields who had 9. Sean Dolak was everywhere, right? Chris Paul Jr., by the way, wearing the green dot, was everywhere. You had all these guys. Tanner Engel making some nice plays. I thought, Cameron Lampkin had the pass breakup and the interception. What a wild interception. Brennan Jackson does not get enough credit for what he did today. He drew he drew two offsides false start calls. You know, I mean, those are the little things that matter. Josiah Stewart with the sack. We all knew he was going to do that, but he got the sack. AJ Green with 2 pass breakups. Some of these guys won't even make the team. And you know what? That's how you know you have a good team. Ty Hamilton looked good today, number 57, like I mentioned. Like, there were guys all over the place. Sean Jolly had a really nice TFL. Really nice. Like, diagnosed it, click and close on point. Elias Neal had a great play in coverage. No, they got some dogs. Charles Woods had a nice play in coverage. So, yeah, there were just all over the place. Josh Wallace had the spine buster thing that he did. That was sick. And then he got penalized for it, which was ridiculous. Charles Woods had a really nice play. Jack Heflin up front. I really liked what I saw from this Rams defense. This Rams defense held Joe Milton, who, by the way, everybody wanted Joe Milton. Everyone, their mother wanted Joe Milton. They held him to 4.9 yards per pass. Are you serious? A 68.6 passer rating. 17 of 29 for 143, a touchdown and a pick. Milton looked terrible, by the way. He looked awful. They were all over Milton. He could not get anything going. They couldn't create any separation. It didn't matter which DB was out there. And it is a reminder, just because these guys are probably not all, well, they're definitely not all going to make the Rams roster, doesn't mean they can't make other rosters in the league. This is an NFL ready cornerback room. Okay. The DB room is stacked. They're going to lose a lot of these players. I would not be surprised. You know, when I covered the Jets that one year and they had a really good roster, right? I kept saying how good their defense was. They lost like 7 guys in cut day. 7 of their defensive players were claimed. That's how you know you have something. And I'm telling you, teams around the league are going to be all over these guys. It's not going to be easy. Like, to bring these guys back, it's just not. But anyway, let's get to super chats. I see there's some in here. SoCal 88, appreciate you. O-line standout, Brennan Jackson getting cut. I don't think Brennan Jackson's getting cut. I don't. I thought he played really well today. You know, again, drawing 2 false starts. There you go. I liked what I saw from Brennan Jackson. As far as the offensive line standout, it's got to be Bo Limmer. Because I liked what I saw from a lot of different guys. I mentioned Willie Lampkin. I mentioned Warren McClendon Jr. I mentioned KT Leviston. You know, but Bo Limmer just absolutely just cleaned house. And it makes sense because Bo Limmer started, 15 games last year? He's better than just about anybody's going up against. So you would hope he would do that. He's going to be the franchise center. It's just, you know, they're in to win the Super Bowl, and they know that Coleman Shelton gives them the best opportunity right now over Bo Limmer. And that could change. If Coleman Shelton has a bad, you know, start to the season, Bo Limmer will take that job. I have no doubt about it. Brian, thank you for the 10. Hey, Jake the GOAT. I've been a Ram fan for 45 years. This could be the deepest all-around team I can remember. Everyone showed Jake some love, like, and follow the GOAT. I appreciate you, Brian. I agree with you. I've been a Rams fan for almost 30 years. My 30th birthday is in October. And I'll tell you, this is one of the deepest teams I've ever seen. And the reason why they're not getting that coverage is because people don't know who a lot of these guys are. And I always say, just because you don't know it doesn't mean it's not good. There's a lot of people out there that think unproven means bad. It does not. So I'm really excited to see what comes of this. I'm really high on this team, really high on the depth of this team. Man, I'm excited. Tonight was, you know, it was a jolt of energy. You know, it was like an energy shot, if you will. It really good to see that. Deontay Smith, thank you for the 5. Chargers saw what the Rams did to the Cowboys this week and was like, nah, let's cancel next week's joint practice. LOL. Thank you for the 5. To be fair to the Chargers, they're going through a lot of injuries. They just lost their left tackle for the year. They just paid him, by the way. So brutal there, you know. But yeah, that's obviously not why they canceled. I know you're just making a joke, but yeah, I'm bummed that they canceled it. I was looking forward to Rams Chargers joint practice. It does not appear that we're going to see that. And yeah, I'm bummed that Rashawn Slater got hurt. He's a really fun player to watch, really just a textbook left tackle. And I'm glad he got paid, but it does suck. Like, I don't know, and somebody can let me know in the comment section if this is the case, but there should be like an insurance policy with your cap if you lose a player for the season. Like, I know the Yankees got X amount of dollars for losing Garrett Cole. They got insurance money, but there's no salary cap. So it's like, did they really need it? No. But in the NFL, you need it for sure. So yeah, I don't know. That's just my take on that. Maybe I'm wrong, but appreciate you, Deontay, for the super chat. L Pineapples, thank you for the 5. Stafford practices Monday. I saw that. Plus, really love Val Carcel. Hope he sneaks on the roster. I don't think they're going to keep 5 safeties. They're loaded at safety, and they got a lot of versatility. I think they keep 5. I think they keep 4 safeties and 4 corners. But to be fair, Val Carcel did play well. Maybe they'll keep him on the practice squad. We'll find out. But appreciate the super. Zaylor Swift, thank you for the 5. Keep Lampkin. Interesting. Which one? You got Willie Lampkin and Cam Lampkin. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Deb. Let's see. I wasn't sure if Zaylor said something. Both played well. I don't think Cam's going to make the roster, but just because there's so many corners. But Willie should make the roster, I would imagine. Deb, appreciate you. And thank you for the super. You were so right not to worry about Stafford. Thank goodness. Also, I really wish Limmer got a chance to start his second year, and I love Brennan Jackson. Bummed I missed the game. Oh, that's a bummer. Definitely. I'm bummed you missed the game too. It was exciting. It was fun. Go back, watch the replay tomorrow to be on NFL Network. Highly recommend it. It was fun to watch and kind of gave you an idea of where this team is as far as the culture, right? You can't predict an entire season based on it, but I thought it was overwhelming. Just the positivity and the presence and the dominance that the Rams invoked today. I honestly think 31-21 doesn't really do it justice. It did not feel close at any point. It didn't feel like a 10-point win. It felt like a 20-point win. So yeah. Deb, definitely check it out on NFL Network tomorrow though. It'll be replaying at some point. I don't know when, but yeah, it's definitely worth your time. Zaylor Swift says the center. Yes, I 100% agree. Willie Lampkin should be kept. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. I loved what I saw from Lampkin today. You can't move him. So if he's 5'11 and 290, that's a problem if he's getting thrown all over the place. If you're not ragdolling the 5'11, 290 pound guy, he might actually work out. He played center and guard today. I like that versatility. Yeah, I'm a big Willie Lampkin fan, so I'm hoping. Chris Paul Jr. had the green dot. You know, I mentioned Dolak with 7 tackles. Cam Lampkin had an interception. AJ Green had 2 pass breakups. Josiah Stewart had the sack. Yeah, there's a lot of good today. I thought the defense just looked really stout. I want to apologize. I think I said Nick Hampton was 31. Nope. So he switched numbers. So 24 was Darius Williams last year. He's now back to 31. And Nick Hampton is 6, which you probably know this. I actually didn't know this, to be fair. And I like admitting when I'm wrong or I don't know something. So I did not know that Nick Hampton was 6, to be fair. Brian, thank you for the super chat here. 14-3 in 2025, Stafford MVP, Super Bowl MVP. That's the hope. I have 13-4, and I have a Super Bowl, and I'm hoping Stafford wins the MVP, but I know they probably don't want to give it to him anyway, because that would mean that they were proven wrong. But then again, if he gets to a second Super Bowl, then they were proven wrong, and there's nothing you could really do about it. So appreciate the super there. And then there was one here. Yes. Thank you. Justin Dedick looked really good. He's going to make the roster. He's a really good player. No doubt about it. I'd be absolutely stunned if he doesn't make the 53. He's a really good player, guys. So, yeah, that's what I would say there. And, let's see here. We got, well, thanks to you guys. I haven't mentioned this yet. Maybe I have. I don't think I have. We got over 31,000 subscribers now. That's because of you guys. I don't look at me. I just talk. So appreciate you guys for getting me over 31,000. Appreciate you guys. Over 500 people in here. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button, also known as the like button. It really does help the channel. I can't stress enough. YouTube is going to assume you just hated this if you don't like it. Don't ask me why. I have no idea. But that's just the reality. So please be sure to hit that thumbs up button. It does wonders for this channel. And people who wake up tomorrow will have it recommended to them if it is thumbs up and liked. So again, really do appreciate that. DP, thank you for the super. Jake, your guys, Dolak, Pupal were great. Thank you. I appreciate you putting your guys, because yes, they are my guys. I love them. I love this linebacker room so much, and I'm bummed that we didn't get a chance to see Nate Landman, but I'm telling you, like, this is what I'm talking about. This team is just absolutely loaded. You got to keep, they're going to keep Dolak. There's no way they don't. Obviously, you know, Chris Paul Jr. isn't going to wear the green dot if he's not going to make the roster. He's 100% going to make the roster. So, yeah, I was a big fan of today and what I saw all across the board. DP, appreciate that. And then John Reese, thank you for the 2 there. Appreciate all the supers, guys. It really does help out the channel. It helps me out. It means a lot. I like this one from CJ because really they can't. There's too many guys, but I want to see more Jordan Waters. And I know I'm not the only one, right? You guys want to see more Jordan Waters? He looked good at the end of the game. And he's got some power. Like, he hits you and knocks you back. And I did mention him in the live stream. I was saying, look, I think this guy's going to have a really good preseason. And sure enough, see, what did we learn today? Okay. Stetson Bennett, get him all the reps in the world. He's not going to be playing this year unless there's some crazy catastrophic deal and we don't want to talk about it. But in all likelihood, Stetson Bennett will not be playing this year, and that's okay. Stetson Bennett only gets opportunities in preseason. Get him the reps. As far as running back goes, I've seen enough of Blake Corum to know that guy is going to be a part of this team. So because I think that guy is going to be a part of this team and actually have a role, I don't need him to play in preseason. I don't think he will. I think he's done. I think they know what they have in him. He's good. Jarquez Hunter, get him more reps. I have no issue with that. He's a rookie. Get him the reps. More Schrader, right? We'll see what ends up happening with Rivers. That could be serious. That's a rib injury. And get Jordan Waters the ball. Get those 3 the football. There you go. Wide receiver, I think we still need to see some Mumfield. Xavier Smith, he's still battling out Britton Covey, who, by the way, Britton Covey didn't look bad either, but Xavier Smith definitely looks like he's ahead of him on the depth chart. Give me more Brennan Presley earlier in the game, okay? Like, over Stoops. I don't dislike Stoops, but I'm saying I think Presley might actually be better. As far as the tight ends, unfortunately, Torres goes down with an ankle. So they're down to Mark Redmond. And then after that, they have their guys. I mean, I saw somewhere that like Davis Allen is playing for, I don't think he's playing for a job. I think he's already locked in. I think they're getting him reps, but maybe I'm wrong. Yeah. Offensive line. I have no idea what they're, I have no issue with what they're doing. they're playing all those guys that aren't going to start and giving them reps, and yeah, no issue at all. Defensive line, I would be totally fine giving more reps to Ty Hamilton. I would say Josiah Stewart, I'd get him more reps. I would. I think I'd keep the defense the way it is, but I would probably start Dolak and Paul, because I know Eli, Neal, and was it Tony Fields they started? So yeah, I would start Dolak and Paul. At corner, doesn't really matter what you go with, and at safety, it doesn't matter. So really, Blake Corum is the only one that I'm just not starting. I'm not playing because I already know who he is. Yeah, I mean, Brennan needs the reps, but I'm not as down on him as some of you guys. I like Brennan a lot. I thought he had a good day. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'd have to go back to the tape to know. Love seeing you for 2 live streams today. Oh, that's right. We did a live stream today. Time flies when you're having fun. I did a post game live stream of the Yankees, and I did a post game live stream of the Rams, and I forgot I did a pregame live stream of the Rams way earlier. Yeah. So yeah, appreciate you, Brian. SoCal. Niners depths are buns. I wanted to see Ferg. I think we'll probably see Ferguson at some point. If it's not next week, then it'll be week 3. If the injury's bad enough, they'll shut him down. We got to hope it's not bad enough to shut him down. That would suck. But yeah, that's kind of how I see that. And then John Reese, thank you for the 2. Rams spanked the Cowboy and the Niners stunk. Well, we like that. That sounds like a good day at the office. Nathan, thank you for the 5. Cody Schrader all day. Give me the St. Louis running back room. He looked really good, man. Cody Schrader looked really good. You see the urgency, you see the suddenness, you see, the body control, or not the body control, the contact balance. He looked really good, guys. I liked what I saw from Schrader. It really makes sense why they kept him on the roster the entire season on the 53. That's not easy to do. Could they lose him if they cut him? I think so. I do. He's probably already done enough where a team would pick him up, put him on the 53. Wouldn't be surprised. By the way, did you guys see that Cam Little, who I think a lot of Rams fans wanted? I wanted Josh Carty, so I was very happy they drafted him. But a lot of Rams fans wanted Cam Little. He hit a 70-yard field goal today for the Jaguars. Absolutely wild. Wild. $70, yep. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Yeah, I was definitely surprised to hear about that. I actually ended up looking it up and I saw it. But yeah, absolutely crazy. And yeah, this upcoming week, it's Rams Chargers, and then after that it's Rams Browns. Obviously, Rams Chargers will be at SoFi Stadium. So there's that. But yeah. Yeah, he had enough for like a 73-yarder. That was crazy. It hit the net, I'm pretty sure. I don't know what that dude was on, but what the hell, man? Yeah. That exactly. It just didn't work out today. Like Torres gets hurt. They were trying to use him. They were trying to get Redmond involved. I think they wanted to get some reps for Davis Allen, who dealt with a back injury all of last year and kind of held him back. But at the same time, like, yeah, it just didn't work out to the point where, like, if Ferguson played next week, they would make it their mission to get Ferguson involved. I don't feel like that was their mission today to get the tight ends involved. And to be fair, the wide receivers got open. It made Stetson's job easier. It wasn't easy though. Stetson had moments where he had to step up in the pocket. He had to roll out. I thought he looked really good. So, that's what I would say about that. But as far as Sean McVay, he did confirm that on the broadcast, Matthew Stafford had a workout. He had 60 passes. And they basically expect him to be Matthew Stafford that they want. So everything looks good there. It's why I didn't panic or anything like that. But yeah, we'll see how that goes, but it looks good. All signs are pointing up for Stafford and that he'll be ready for week 1. And I agree with the decision to kind of slow play it, because why run the risk if he's not feeling 100%? Why run that risk and trot him out there to have him get hurt in a practice, So that's what I would say about that. Really confused what happened today about the review. If anybody in the chat wants to let me know, that would be great. I have no clue what happened with the review today, because Joe Milton was down. He was down. I have no idea what they were looking at. I have no idea what they were trying to do. That was terrible. That was awful. Just awful. So, yeah, it was definitely interesting. But yeah, I have no clue what that was about. None. It definitely felt like he fell down. It was very reminiscent of a I'm drawing a blank here. Kenny Pickett. It was very reminiscent of Kenny Pickett. I mean, I felt like when I was watching, I just kind of felt like they were trying to keep the Cowboys in it, because it is an entertainment business. It is entertainment for value. It is preseason for the refs too. Totally agree with Tyler. But it just felt like they were trying to keep them in it because it was getting so out of hand. And I don't know. That's how it felt. I mean, there was one drive in particular. I think there was a flag every play for 8 plays in a row. And then I saw CeeDee Lamb got trucked by the referee. That was wild. And then he picked up a flag for it, I think. I don't know. It was a lot of stuff happening today. But all right, game balls. Let's go. Number 1, Stetson Bennett. No doubt about it. Bravo. Really improved. I wasn't asking him to go and, light the world on fire, but I'll tell you right now, he looked really good. Calm, cool, collected, knew what he was doing, made the right plays in the pocket. Was really impressed with what I saw from number 13. So he gets a game ball, 2 touchdowns. The interception is what it is. I thought it was a good throw, and there should have been a PI, but it is what it is. So Bennett gets a game ball. The number 2 game ball, well, he scored 2 touchdowns, right? It's tough. All the running backs did something, but Blake Corum scored 2 touchdowns today. He found pay dirt twice. Got to give Blake Corum, a game ball. Number 3, I'm going to give a game ball to, let's see, who do I want to go with? I'm going to give one to Sean Dolak. I thought he played out of his mind. Hair on fire, was everywhere. Thought he played really well. Number 4 game ball is going to go to Cameron Lampkin. I thought that interception was huge. Really killed their momentum at that point, and they never looked back. And then my last game ball, I am going to go, and this is a tough one here. I am going to go with Josiah Stewart. And obviously Chris Paul Jr. could have gotten one, whatever, but Josiah Stewart had that sack, and I thought he looked really good, just pressuring the quarterback. Josiah Stewart would get my other game ball. Looking back at the players to watch, we had number 10. I thought Ty Hamilton looked good. He didn't look amazing. It wasn't like he blew up every play, but he looked good. So I would say, yeah, if you watched Ty Hamilton, you felt good. Number 9 was Blake Corum. Reason why he was 9, I've already seen him play in a regular season, and I didn't think he'd get a ton of reps. He ends up getting 2 touchdowns. So I liked what I saw from Blake Corum. Number 8 Stetson Bennett. Have already seen Stetson Bennett 2 preseasons in a row. Going into this game, I was like, yeah, obviously I'm going to be watching the quarterback. But he came in 8 because, well, I've already seen Stetson Bennett 2 times in a row, two full preseasons. That's what, 6 games. But I was still excited to see him. I put him on this list, and he definitely did not disappoint. Neither did number 7, Willie Lampkin, who was wearing number 62. Really could not be moved around. I liked what I saw from him. I thought Brennan Jackson also looked good. He wasn't dominant, but I thought, he did a really nice job of, forcing his hand against offensive linemen, drawing 2 false starts. I thought he won a few reps where like it didn't end up working out for him, where he couldn't get to the quarterback in time, but did a nice job. Sean Dolak was everywhere, hair on fire type of guy. Love to see it. Really feel like the turnovers could come in the next game or the game after that. You can already see he's ready. He's in his game form for sure. Number 4 was Jarquez Hunter. Looked as advertised, right? Really liked what I saw. Battering ram, but also somebody that can house a home run. And I thought you saw some really good things from him. Josiah Stewart, of course, was excellent. Got the only sack of the game. For the Rams, and I thought he did a really nice job. Showed the bend, showed the explosiveness off the edge. You love to see that. Number 2 is Kanate Mumfield. I would say he was a bit disappointing in a lot of ways, but at the same time, if you look at the nuance, the fine, minute details, I thought he looked really good, from a route running perspective, from a blocking perspective, a willing blocker, a willing route runner, creating separation. Was really disappointed by the hands dropping that pass, but then he comes back and he catches that ricochet, body control, everything. So, yeah, again, he was number 2, so I expected more, but I liked what I saw. And then Chris Paul Jr. was number 1, and I just deleted the damn thing. So I'll have to put it back up. But Chris Paul Jr. was number 1, and I thought he had a really good game. I love that they come out and they're like, yeah, he was gonna be he was the green dot and everything. It's a good sign, really good sign. But yeah, I think, just kind of looking at this, I think you have a lot to feel good about if you're a Rams fan with this preseason, with this roster. And I'm really really interested in what's to come when it comes to this team, because, this upcoming weekend, again, we saw some really good production from these guys. Who else steps up? Who takes a seat? Who's locked in their role? We don't really know who's locked it in until they're in street clothes in the preseason, and we're told that they've been benched. If they're benched in preseason, it means that they're likely going to make the roster, right? So I would say there's a really good chance that Blake Corum is in street clothes next week, but we'll find out. That said, man, 550 people in here. We appreciate you. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button, also known as the like button. Also, be sure, if you haven't already, to join the community Discord. So we have a lot of Rams fans in there, over 1,100. So definitely be sure to hit that up as well. The link is in the comments section. But yeah, just absolutely loved what I saw today, and I'm excited for the next one. I'm excited for the season. I'll tell you right now, it's coming. It'll be here soon. The depth is really good. The Rams have a lot of talent, and I thought the coaching staff did a really nice job too. I thought Greg Williams called a great game on defense again, and I thought Mike LaFleur called a great game on offense. But yeah, anyway, that is that. Good Lord. That is that. Man, I miss this. I miss doing these post games and everything. And, I look forward to doing another one after the Chargers game. The Browns game is going to be interesting. I have a wedding that day, so we'll see how that works. But we got a full Sean McVay victory speech after this one, even though it was a preseason. Love that. So, yeah. Before I go, let's see here. Hey, Jake, I have a question. Why is it that the first Rams depth chart has Akello or Kobe playing with Darius starting opposite side of him? I just think the unofficial you don't read too much into. A great example of this, by the way, is we just saw, I don't know if you guys saw this, but what's his name? The RJ, the running back that why can I not remember anybody's names? It's like during the draft, I'm like on it. And then Broncos running back, the RJ Harvey. RJ Harvey, I liked him in the draft. He just couldn't pass protect. But RJ Harvey was listed as the 5th running back on the depth chart. 5th. He started next to Bo Nix today. So I don't put too much stock into the unofficial. That's why I don't even think I made a video about it this year, because I've just realized that it's just all kind of just for show. There's no rhyme or reason. The unofficial doesn't tell us really anything. It just doesn't. So, yeah, good question, Adrian. But yeah, I wouldn't worry about it. So, anyway, we had 2,000 views in 50 minutes. Fun post-game live stream. This is just the start. We'll have more on the channel, more content, everything. But yeah, feeling good about this. My guys look good today. And then there are other guys that, weren't my guys coming in. Not that I was against them, but like a guy like Brendan Presley, who wasn't on my radar. Now he's on my radar. So we'll see how that goes. But guys, again, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. Let's get this to 200 likes. If you enjoyed this, be sure after, okay, not in the chat, because it helps the algos. After, drop in the comments section the player that you had the most fun watching today in preseason. Okay, drop that below. Really does help out the channel, especially if you comment, and of course hit that thumbs up. But that's gonna do it for me. I'm Jake Ellenbogen. You can follow me on all social media at JKBogan, including Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Kick, and Twitch. And I will see you guys in the next video. Take care, folks. Later.